A new Star Wars game's from Quantic Dream's in the works. Call of Duty Vanguard letting us down. THQ showing, well, pretty much all of the games in Lost Judgment judged and more. Let's begin for the gaming news. So Quantic Dreams is working on a new Star Wars game and has been for quite some time. Rumors are starting to leak out that David Cage's Quantic Dream developer is working on a Star Wars game. If you remember, Lucasfilm has cleared working with other companies, then EA for Star Wars titles, and Quantic opened their Montreal, Canada studio, now led by Stefan Diastis, who worked on Black Flag, Valhalla, and other Assassin's Creed titles. And rumors are that this is going to be a narrative mixed kind of title, a little bit like perhaps Detroit Become Human, but with more of an action slant. You can see the link here where VP of Lucasfilm actually stated himself that Star Wars is an IP that they wanted to spread out and have the best developers everywhere in the world be working on it. With Ubisoft working on a game as well, and now the rumored Quantic Dream, as well as new cartoons, The Mandalorian, and other Star Wars series in the works, it only makes sense for a highly narrative Star Wars game. And Quantic fills that gap perfectly, especially after Detroit Become Human signaled the end to their exclusivity with Sony releases, and they had that later PC version of the same title. So stay tuned for that. I'm actually quite excited to see what they can do. Speaking of doing stuff, Call of Duty Vanguard, the beta is out there, people are playing it, and while the game comes out November 5th for the PlayStation, the Xbox, and the PC, you can jump into that beta now. You can play a couple weapons, a couple different mods, a couple different maps. One place where Vanguard is going to have to see itself apart is that continued reliance on World War II set pieces. And while aiming to return here, as did Sledgehammer Games' other title, Destructible Environments are certainly making a bigger impact. For impressions on this, whether good or bad, with some gamers loving the surprise, the dynamic feel of shooting through a wall or a floor to kill someone, and other people feeling like it's just too easy to turn the game into pure chaos. The big issue here is that even though they're adjusting and adding in that new multiplayer style like Champion Hill, which does offer a fresh perspective, the game still feels pretty samey, almost archaic, if you will. I want to know what you guys think in the comments. Post what you guys think. Of course, you can subscribe to the channel as well, but I want to know if you guys are enjoying Vanguard or not and what parts you do or don't like about it. Now, speaking about people who like games, THQ apparently likes them because they're developing every single game out there. At their show last Friday, THQ showed a huge number of titles in development and stated they have 48 total games in development with 28 more titles they haven't even shown anybody yet and didn't show at this event. With the likes of a new SpongeBob SquarePants, some racing games, Outcast 2, which by the way is a sequel to one of the most classic PC games ever, and joined up double fist bumping with Jagged Alliance 3, as well as Jetpacks for Everybody, Elix 2. Now the jank may be high in a lot of these titles, it's hard to deny that, but with a lot of the games like this, I think there's an eclectic AA section of gaming that isn't always represented. And THQ seems to fit that gap perfectly. Hell, they even announced a new Destroy All Humans 2 Reprobed edition as well at this event. THQ is out there trying to fill that gap. I think they're going to do a great job. Of course, some of these games aren't going to be the best, but it's super exciting to see so many different titles from so many different genres by one group out there, making sure that they fulfill all of those needs. I want to know what you guys think about Elix or Jagged Alliance. I want to know what you guys think about, SpongeBob SquarePants, but even more importantly, Outcast 2. Outcast finally getting a sequel and jumping back into Cutter Slade's shoes. I simply cannot wait. And speaking of waiting, you guys won't have to wait a ton longer. Lost Judgment launches September 21st. Reviews are in, though. Despite high reviews, the questions remain concerning the future of the series as the main star's contract agency and Sega have had this massive divide in their thoughts concerning PC ports, enough that rumors have actually started about this being the last title with that character as the lead. Now, with 10-hour DLC expansions coming soon, where we get to be the head-busting mantle of Talk's best friend and take over there, perhaps that's going to be the next lead in this game. Perhaps that's a test. In the end, beating up gang-affiliated high schoolers who attack you with bats and canes and then stopping and popping in a dance-off mixed with real-time combat is where Judgment excels, and it really does. It's the only place to get real-time Yakuza kind of combat, as Like a Dragon signaled that the Yakuza series was switching over to turn-based combat. With 90% of critics agreeing that it is a recommend on OpenCritic, regardless of what happens, it's going to be hard to look in the future and say it wasn't because Judgment or Lost Judgment were bad titles. When it comes to gaming news, I want to know what you guys are paying attention to and what you're excited for this week. feel free to throw it down there in the comments section. Titles you're looking forward to, news that excites you. I'll try to grab that and, of course, put it in either here in the next week's or in the Friday podcast. Check out ACG for continued reviews. You're going to see a bunch coming this week, as well as impressions for titles. There is a lot of coverage coming. Peace out, and I hope you enjoy your week.